Hi everybody, Matt Burney or Mike Beer taking a look at the Pick 4 sequence Sunday afternoon from Remington Park. It's Oklahoma Derby Sunday, and this Pick 4 sequence races 9 through 12. Scheduled post time Central is 6:46. Let's start things off with the Ricks Memorial. They're going a mile and 16th on the turf. There appears to be a horse down on the inside in Gianna's Dream that's going to be a pretty heavy favorite. Are you using?
Oh yeah, she's way the horse to beat in here. Just claimed by Mike Maker, put right on the turf. And where have you seen that? If you've seen it once, you've seen it 100 times. Just improve this horse right away. I don't know. To me, she's way the horse to beat. I made her basically the focus of my Pick 4 play. But I will say, I'm also going to use a pretty good dose of the 3, Strive. I think if you go back and watch that September 2nd race, I think there were 4 or 5 of these horses exiting that race. Mm-hmm. It's pretty hard not to go back and watch that race and want Strive out of that race more than you want anybody else. I mean, squeezed out at the start, outrun last, came wide around the turn, finished full of run, just failed to get up. Meanwhile, Emerald Pond, who won the race, and Fazzle Dazzle finished third. Perfect trips right up the inside. This horse ran great last time.
Yeah, look, Gianna's Dream, I have no knock against it. I think everybody and their brother's going to have this horse involved. It's the first leg of the pick. The only other horse that I'm mildly interested in is the horse drawn just to the outside. That's Stormquility, simply because I kind of feel like these 2 most recent starts, I like the idea of her coming from off the pace as opposed to being forward and being out there cutting out the fractions. If she can sit a little bit, Gianna's Dream's going to go from the inside. You've got some other speed in here as well. If she sits a length or 2 off the pace, I'd like to think maybe she's one that can kind of turn the tables on the big one in here. But Gianna's Dream, you have to use her if you're kicking this thing off. We move on to the second leg of this sequence, race number 10. It's the David M. Vance Sprint. You've got a big name in here. Everybody knows him. Ivan Fallen Over a lot. It's going to be tough, but there is some other speed in this race.
Yeah, there really is. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I spent a long time trying to, I know I'm using him. Spent a long time trying to decide, whether I wanted to use anyone else, and if so, who would they be? I don't think I'm going to go that deep in this race. Yeah. He's better than these horses. He's perfectly drawn on the outside. That was a pretty sharp win off the layoff last time. It shows me that he can still really run, and if he can still really run, he's probably just better than these horses. If I back up, do I back up with wings locked up? He's a speed right to his side. Maybe he goes right to the front and wires this field, and that's how the big favorite gets beat. But I'm not so sure I see it happening. I think Ivan Fallen Over a Lot's going to be really hard to beat here.
He's my main A if I were playing with a ticket maker sort of situation. The only other horse that I was a little bit interested in was Wilbo. Now, Wilbo maybe at this point in his career, maybe he's lost a little bit, but I like the fact that he's another one that can sit a little. He doesn't have to go. Yeah. We haven't seen him since July, so you don't know what you're going to get. But I would like to think that if they're going to bring him back in a race like this, a stakes race, that he's well meant and he's ready to go. Robbie Alvarado has the mount, so maybe he can sit a little bit. But again, Ivan Fallen Over a Lot, he's going to take a lot of beating in here. We talk about a heavy favorite and Ivan Fallen Over a Lot. You're going to have a heavy favorite in the Oklahoma Derby. It's the formulated race of the day for Sunday. We've got all the expanded preview there on the race of the day page. Battle of Midway, single for me.
Yeah, me too. I just prefer him. I know that, maybe there's not as much separating him and Gervin as you and I think there is. I think he's a better horse.
I think the blinker's going on. I mean, it's amazing to see what just an equipment change can do. For a good horse, now you may have taken him to the next step, or all of a sudden maybe he's a legitimate force. Be interesting to see. Mile and an eighth, I don't know that I think it's a problem for him. I think he can get it, but I almost wonder if he's better mile and 16th.
That's a very good point. Something to keep in mind for sure, because Gervin doesn't have a problem with the 9 furlongs.
If you get through this point, you get on to the Red Earth. I love the name of this whole thing. Oklahoma breds going 7.5 on the turf. Ibaka, to me, I understand he makes all the sense in the world. Yeah. Why don't I entirely trust him?
I don't know. That's a pretty good question to ask. I mean, to me, he's way the horse to be in here. I sort of hear what you're saying. He doesn't have to win. He really likes this turf course, though. He won this race last year, and he won it pretty convincingly, and he's got speed. There are plenty of reasons to like him. How deep are you going against him?
Not really deep, but I guess, so here's my thing. I kind of look at it and say, I know in another lifetime, he used to be able to come from way off the pace. Recently, all of his wins have been outright on it, and there's other speed in here. I guess there's a part of me, I know with the inside draw, you kind of have to go on with it.
Yeah, he's going to go,
But there's a part of me that just didn't want to be having all of my eggs into a basket with a horse that I don't know if he can pass horses anymore.
No, I don't disagree with that. I feel like he's way the horse to be in here. I don't feel like I just want to have him in the Pick 4 and nobody else. One of the horses I'm definitely going to use with him, I don't know if you have this horse on your ticket, I'm using the 8. Perfect to Please. Well, I just think this horse is really interesting. If you start going back through his PPs, he's just a way better horse going long. Yeah. And they spent basically a year plus trying to make him a sprinter for some reason. I don't know why they did that. He's not as good sprinting. They stretched him back out for his last 3 races. He got kind of a crazy trip and ride 2 starts back. I don't know what they were doing there. They gave him no chance to win. He actually ran really well. And I know that they dropped him in class last time and that wasn't a great field, but he dusted that field with a figure. I think he can come right back and win.
He's the kind of horse, the beauty of Formulator, you can go through and you can darken things out that you don't want to see. And you go through, in the way that I have a filter set up, all of those other races that you're talking about, the sprints on dirt, the sprints on turf, whatever it may be, you get rid of all those, you're left with a pretty significant chunk of your PP's gone, and then you're left with a couple of turf routes that look really, really good, make him a major, major player in here. I'm certainly using him. The other one that I was a little bit interested in is the 5 Pacific Typhoon, and I wonder if it's just a scenario where the horse has figured it out. This is what he's wanted to do all along, go 2 turns on turf, and maybe he's a little bit on the cheap side, but based on buyers recently anyway, he's in the ballpark. He's not without a chance.
No, I agree with that. He has really improved in his most recent starts, and if he can run another race like that in here, and Ibaka, winds up there, tied up on the pace with some other horses, this horse could get up.
Oklahoma Derby Sunday. Again, that's the Formulator race today. You can get the free Formulator past performances in the race of the day page. But as far as this video is concerned, this is the Pick 4 sequence. It's races 9 through 12, and it starts in race number 9. Scheduled post time is 6:46 Central. Good luck.